On May 3, 2023, the Sui Foundation announced that the Sui Mainnet have officially launched. Sui is the first Layer 1 blockchain and smart contract platform designed from the ground up, aiming to provide fast, and secure access to digital assets for everyone. The Sui Foundation is an independent organization with a mission to support the development of the Sui ecosystem. Cryptocurrency investment is high risk. This video is for market information and personal opinion sharing only, and does not constitute any investment advice. Welcome to our 3DAO channel, where we approach the latest trend and insight in the cryptocurrency market, a place to spread knowledge of the Web3 industry. Today we will discussing a hot topic. Sui Mainnet has been launched, and things to know about the Sui blockchain mainnet. My name is Pear. I am your host today, and joining me today is also one of our hosts, Mia. Hi Mia, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on the show.
You may have heard the news that the Sui Mainnet has finally been launched.
Yes, I have heard the news about the Sui Foundation announcing recently that the Sui Mainnet has gone live. This mainnet is built on a novel architecture that enables Sui to achieve parallel transaction processing, sub-second settlements averaging just 480 milliseconds, and rich on-chain assets. Through horizontally scalable processing and storage, Sui can support a wide range of applications at an unparalleled speed and low cost. Sui is a step forward in the development of blockchain and a platform where creators and developers can build amazing, user-friendly experiences.
Based on the information you have access to, Sui as a general smart contract platform, what preparation was done before the mainnet went live?
Well, in addition to significantly improving Sui's performance and user experience, the team's goal for the mainnet launch was also to create a first-class developer experience. Sui's programming language, Move, is both expressive and composable, allowing developers to build in a way that was never before possible, while still maintaining inherent security in their code. Novice and experienced developers alike can quickly start writing dynamic and secure smart contracts. Since its inception, an unparalleled community of innovative founders, developers, and builders has formed around Sui. Sui Discord is currently one of the largest Web3 channels with a community of 750,000 members and is still growing. As a general smart contract platform, Sui can support a range of world-class applications in areas such as gaming, finance, business, and social media. Users can access all the core infrastructures they need to support through digital asset ownership and enable decentralized application and other ecosystem participants' transaction capabilities. New projects will be steadily launched in the coming weeks and months.
According to Sui, a new programming language Move has been adopted. How is this different from other blockchain programming language?
Yes, Sui uses a new programming language called Move, which is different from programming language used in other blockchains. Move is a statically typed programming language that was developed specifically for the Sui blockchain. It was designed with security in mind and is optimized for the creation of smart contracts. Unlike other blockchain programming languages that are based on existing language such as C++, Move was built from the ground up to meet the specific requirements of the Sui blockchain. The Move language includes features such as resource types, linear types, and restricted functions that help prevent common smart contract vulnerabilities such as reentrancy and resource exhaustion.
What do we need to know about the upcoming Sui Mainnet launch? Can you share it with us?
Sure, I'm happy to share some points of interest with everyone. Firstly, It is important to note that there will be no community airdrop planned after the launch of the Sui Mainnet. Users should be cautious of scam and phishing activities. However, Sui has announced a Sui Token Community Access Plan, which provides supporters with the opportunity to purchase Suis at a discounted price. Secondly, is Sui ecosystem project have announced fundraising. For example, Citus announced the completion of its seed round, with OKEX Ventures and KuCoin Ventures leading the investment and many other participating. Third, there are some Sui ecosystem projects that have announced their token release plans, such as Sui's social protocol, SUIA, has announced the issuance of the SUIA token with a total supply of 100 million tokens. 7% of the token will be allocated to the Community Access Program and will be immediately unlocked. Eventually, SUIA will be used for governance and user incentive, so joining the community might get a chance of airdrop.
So, what is Sui token economic model forward? And how is this distributed?
Sui's token economic model is based on the Sui token, which serves as a utility and governance token. It is used to pay transaction fees, participate in governance decisions, and reward contributors to the network. The total supply of Sui is 10 billion tokens, with a circulating supply of 1.5 billion tokens at the time of launch. The distribution of Sui token is as picture shows. 20% is allocated to team, 10% is allocated to early investor, and 70% is allocated to the Sui ecosystem, which includes community incentive, partnerships, and ecosystem development. The team's allocation is subject to a 4-year vesting period, with 25% unlocked each year. The allocation for early investor is subject to a 2-year vesting period, with 50% unlocked each year. The ecosystem allocation is subject to a 5-year vesting period, with 20% unlocked each year.
Oh, I see. So, what are the unique advantages of Sui compared to other public chains?
Sui's blockchain has several advantages over public chains, including with features such as horizontal scalability, composability, sparse reloading, and on-chain storage. Sui's architecture addresses the common pain point of Layer 1. On the Sui network, each set of transactions is processed in parallel, in contrast to the bottleneck that early blockchain faced due to a lack of differentiations between various project resources, accounts, and other components. Unlike most other blockchains, assets such as NFT can be passed directly into function parameters on the Sui network. Sui object-centric approach also allows for more complex data structures, as well as the ability to store assets within such data structures or within the asset themselves. While blockchain provides a ledger of every transaction on-chain, the cost of acquiring on-chain data is high. So on Sui, game developers don't need to track irrelevant transactions record, and product will be able to follow the evolutions of project in the game without having to dig up data from the marketplace. Because assets are stored directly as objects on the Sui blockchain, they are never constrained by marketplace indexing. Since updating assets directly on-chain is much cheaper, combining on-chain asset storage with traditional methods such as IPFS can solve the problem of high on-chain storage costs.
What are your thoughts on the maintenance and operational costs of Sui?
Well, in simple terms, when there is data storage involved in smart contract interaction, having that code on the receiver's end may cause the transaction to fail. Therefore, when deploying contracts on a single chain, the cost of storing data on the chain must be taken into consideration. As a result, most contracts tend to offload the cost of storing data to node operators to distribute the cost, and user may also bear some of the cost. However, this is a relatively nuanced issue and not every program operates this way.
So, what is the distributed computing model of Sui And how does it differ from typical blockchain model that use a token economy model to control server load?
Sui distributed computing model is more like traditional cloud service than a typical blockchain. Many blockchains use token economics to control server loads. As loads increase, the gas fee also increase. Higher gas fee reduce the number of transactions, as user can only pay a certain amount. With Sui, as the load increases, validation nodes can simply add more processing power, similar to how Amazon Web Services may add more servers as client traffic increases. Validation nodes can earn more gas fee rather than spending more, so they are incentivized to add more validation servers. This model not only allows Sui to scale to support increased user traffic, but also maintain a steady gas fee.
Is there anything else you'd like to share with investors?
As a general-purpose smart contract platform, Sui is able to support a range of world-class applications in areas such as gaming, finance, commerce, social media, and more. Users have access to all the core infrastructure they need, supporting true ownership of digital assets and enabling transaction capabilities for decentralized applications and other supporting participants. New projects will be launching steadily over the coming weeks and months, so I think investors can prepare themselves and take precaution against risk in advance.
Thank you for sharing all of this. This gives us a deeper understanding and insight of the thing to know on Sui Mainnet launch.
Certainly, it's always good to stay informed and up to date with the latest trends and insights.
I think that's all for today. Please do me a favor if you are watching this and hit the subscribe, like, and follow button. Wherever you are watching this, thank you so much and we will see you next time. Bye!